An estate plan is the greatest gift you're ever going to give your family. It not only preserves your assets so that you can pass on the fruits of all of your hard work over the course of your lifetime, but it also is an amazing tool to preserve relationships between those that you leave behind.
Hi, this is Jerry Pletica with Touching Hearts at Home here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Recently, I was at a health fair here in the area, and an estate lawyer, Linda Roberts-Ross, spoke about how important it is to get your estate plan in place as soon as possible. This is great content I'm sure you will appreciate.
My name is Linda Roberts-Ross. I am an attorney. I've been doing estate planning for approximately 25 years. I'm licensed in California, Washington, and Idaho. I'm widowed now, a little over 10 years. And after my husband passed away, I redid our trust. And because I'm the attorney and knew I could, I have 4 kids, amazing. They all have wonderful relationships with each other. And we all work together. I'm a family operated firm. My daughter is up here with me. She's also widowed about 2 years after I was. And my 3 sons, and with the exception of one who works in Sacramento, all of the others work for me. And we've done that since they were little kids. My husband and I had a manufacturing business that we started in 1983, and the kids came to work with us very, very often. And their first jobs were working for us. You know, they learned to sweep the shop floor and proper way to use a push broom and all that good stuff, right? But the point is, I thought that was the norm. I found that that is more of a rarity. So there's always going to be tension in family structures. But you want to make sure that whatever you do with your estate plan, it's crafted for you. So when my husband died, as I said, I redid my trust. And I put in my trust, big, bold, paragraph. If any of you fight over anything, I'm going to come back and haunt you from the grave until you figure out the best gift I could have provided to any of you is each other. Because I wanted them to bond. And we did that after their dad died. And you want to maintain those relationships and strengthen those relationships with the people you leave behind, because when parents are gone, what they have is each other. And those relationships become all the more precious. And you don't want to force them into a system called probate that's going to put them at each other's throat, because probate is an adversarial lawsuit that one family member files against all of the rest, because they're saying, I'm going to be in charge of this. You may not agree. And now there's all of this tension and conflict. And so when you make the decision for you and for your family about who's going to be in charge, you reduce that. And sometimes if there's no good relationships or they're tenuous as between the people you leave, your children or whomever, and there's no good choice of who's going to be doing the jobs that you need to have done, sometimes it's really beneficial to appoint a neutral third party, meaning it can be a very trusted friend, it can be a private fiduciary, which is something that they do. And then now they have a joint enemy. This person might not be doing what they want, but everybody, all the siblings can be angry at the same person. And now they're joined in the fight against whatever that person is trying to do. And they can be angry at them, not at each other. So there's a lot of, as I said, a lot of layers to the onion in estate planning. And I customize those for people so that it gets done to the limits of the law, exactly what they want done with their assets. I encourage those very difficult conversations, because when you appoint somebody as a power of attorney for medical and healthcare decision making, I don't do the check the boxes. I strongly discourage that. After my mom died, I got very, very involved in patients' rights. I have worked closely with the leadership of the California Nurses Association. I testified before state legislative hearings, and I testified before the House Judiciary Committee of Congress on these things. And as a result of all that work that I did, I worked with Ralph Nader as well on his quality medical care initiatives. But as a result of that, I was asked to help write an HMO member's handbook. HMO because, Kaiser, HMO. Anyway, so I did that. And the chapter I wrote was on informed consent. And we've just gone through 3 years where informed consent became front and center as we went through the pandemic. And I don't like the check the boxes thing, because if you do that now, you're sitting here, you don't know what your medical condition might be. You don't know what the options might be. You're making medical decisions in absolute informational vacuum. So I recommend to my clients that they allow the person that they're going to appoint to make those decisions after they gather up all that information from all of the medical types, and they actually weigh that against hopefully what you have told them about what is an acceptable quality of life for you, under what circumstances would you not want to live anymore, what kind of situation are you going to have. So you have to have those very difficult conversations with them and the rest of the members of your family, so that they know, nope, mom said this. Because otherwise, you're going to wind up in a situation where the person that you've named, they're going to be doing the hand wringing. They're going to have so much anxiety and angst over what is the right choice. What would they want? And without knowing that, because they've had those conversations, they may make a decision that you truly would not want. But because you haven't shared it, that's the route they're going to go. My son is also a licensed private fiduciary. He recently took on a client, and before he could get with her and evaluate her, she had a stroke, major stroke. And so the medical establishment, who has an agenda to get somebody out of their hospital as quickly as possible, because again, it was Kaiser, they have now converted her from a profit center, meaning her premiums are being paid every month, into a loss center, because they're having to provide some pretty intensive care. They don't like that. They want her out as soon as possible. And in order to do that as quickly as possible, just send her over to this hospice and she'll die. And there was an option for placing a feeding tube so that she would have sufficient time to be able to recover and see what her status was going to be. And he came to me, what do you think I should do? And I said, I think if you don't know, you have to err on the side of giving her as many options as are available to her at this point. But there was a lot of stress on his part to try to make the right decision. And that's not even for a family member. Imagine what it would be like if your family members were trying to figure this out for you. So there's a lot of considerations.
This is Jerry Pletica with Touching Hearts at Home here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. For more great content, please subscribe.